Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. First, I want to start off by saying thank you for watching. If you accidentally clicked on this video and you're still here, thank you. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Today's story time is going to be about the time this dude said he was going to slap me. Yes, you heard that right. He said he was going to slap me. So I'm going to be starting from the beginning, and I'll kind of just go through it real fast, and then we'll get into the juicy parts. I met him probably in 2018. I met him because he came up to knock on my window while I was rolling my little wood, minding my business. This is when I used to smoke. I don't smoke anymore, but he scared the fuck out of me. When I say, I'm just, imagine me like it. Okay, I had just gotten off of work. It was dark. This is when I used to get out like at 1 in the morning. So I'm just in my car rolling my little wood, minding my business, and this dude just knocked on my window and disturbs me. And I look up at him. I'm like, yes. Proceeds to introduce himself. He said that he's seen me around before and he wanted to smoke with me. Okay, so at this time I was going through it. Like, I had just gotten out of a relationship. You know, I had my first little heartbreak. I lied. So I was actually in an on and off relationship, and this was just one of the times that we broke up. Mind you, I think I had just gotten done crying. Like, I was in the car crying, rolling my wood. Like, so he asked me to smoke. He asked me to match. I was like, mind you, never met this dude before in my life. I seen him a couple of times. Like, I used to see him like walking up and down my street. Never thought nothing of it, but I really let this dude come in my car, and you feel me, like, we was smoking or whatever. Like I said, never met this dude, and I just let a stranger hit my wood. Like, no. Never again. I learned my lesson. So fast forward, we're smoking or whatever. So I had a little cup that I had made in ceramics when I was in high school, and I used to use that for my ashtray. So what I would do is keep it in my car, and then I would put it in my cup holder. While we were smoking, you know, I ashed my wood. Why this dude put his hand on top of mine? Like, purposely put his hand on top of mine. So I'm ashing my wood. This dude gonna go to my hand and start like feeling it. So I pull back like, what are you doing? But I let it go because I'm like, okay, like, you're hella weird. Well, at this point, I am feeling a little bit uncomfortable, but I let it slide. I'm still smoking. And then he proceeds to put his hand on my thigh. That's when I was like, okay, no, that's not what's gonna happen. So I moved his hand. I was like, you gotta go. Like, I'm not having that. Like, I don't even know you. He's like, oh, can I get a hug? No, you cannot get a hug. I don't know you, and you just try to touch me on my leg for what? He leave, whatever. After that, like, I didn't see him for hella long. Fast forward a couple months. Like I said, I used to get out at 1 to 2 a.m. every day. So I had the same routine. Go to work, get off, come home, roll me a wood, smoke. Like, that was my routine back then. So again, I'm in my car chilling, and guess who I see? Okay, so let me give this dude a name. What am I gonna name him? Just gonna name him Pablo. Don't ask me why that name just popped up in my head. Okay, so I see Pablo. He speak, of course. He's just talking to me like, what's up, da da da. I think I forgot about like what he had did that night, but we're just chopping it up. He's telling me like, I'm your neighbor, like, I live right there. So this dude lived like literally the house across from me. He lived 3 doors down from the house. So he's just proceeding to tell me like, oh yeah, I live right there. You know, I used to see you all the time when you were younger. Like, I've lived here my whole life, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, like, I've never seen you before, but okay. So he then asked for my number, and I'm like, no, I don't give out my number, but you can have my Snapchat. So he added me on Snapchat. After that, we started talking. a little bit, but it was nothing serious. We was just, you know, having a conversation or whatever, and he would tell me like, oh, like let's match. And I was just like whatever, we can match. Awesome, cool though, because I had just got out of a relationship, so I wasn't looking for nothing. I literally just wanted to smoke like I always did. It was an everyday thing. I was basically just adding him into what my everyday schedule was looking like. And so that's what we started doing for the, not every day, but you know, a few times a week or whatever. We would just kick it, match. He didn't have a car, I had a car, so sometimes like if we needed to go get woods, I say we because it's not like I was just taking him to the store, but if we needed to go get woods, I would take him like to get some weed. So, and he would smoke me out. I'm not gonna lie. He would smoke me out, but it's not like I never had my own. It was cool or whatever. One time he took my phone and he texted himself from my phone. So what does that mean? He now has my number. So he tells me like, oh, I want to mess with you. And I tell him like, I just got out of a relationship. I'm not looking for nothing. Like, we could be friends. Like, if you want to kick it, if you want to smoke, if you want to match, like, that's cool. Like, we could do that. But as friends, I made sure to make that very clear. And I should have took it as a red flag when he kept pushing the issue. I should have took that as a red flag that I had to tell him more than one time that I just wanted to be friends and I wasn't looking for anything. But I didn't, and you feel me, like it is what it is. Everything is a lesson learned. So he now has my number, so he would like call me all the time, like, oh, like come outside, let's match. Basically call me up and say let's match. So I would go sometimes I wouldn't feel like being bothered, but I feel like it was just cool to have somebody to smoke with, like, even though I was so used to doing it by myself like all the time. But it was a cool, like, it was a cool vibe, or so I thought. Like, I just thought it was, you know, a cool little vibe that we had as friends. So dudes started asking me for a hug like all the time, like, oh, can I have a hug? Oh, can I have a hug? And I'd be like, no, you cannot have a hug. Like, you can have a handshake. Like, you feel me? Because we're good like that. But he would, you know, be hella persistent. Like, oh, can I have a hug? Can I have a hug? And so I started giving him hugs. You know, but like I said, it was nothing because I made it clear to him, I don't want nothing with you. We are friends. We're just smoking together, and that's it. That's all. But he kept pushing issue, and I definitely should have stopped it right then and there and just stopped with him completely. So in his head, he probably thought I was playing hard to get. So he stopped for a minute, like stopped all that flirty, all that trying to, you know, like touch me, all that hugging. I'm all over the place with this video. I forgot to mention also is that he was hella weird. Like, I didn't know this in the beginning, but I don't know if it was because we were high and like we were smoking, but I started to notice that this dude was really, really weird. Like, he would talk about conspiracy theories, which is fine, you know. I'm good with that. Like, I'm that type of person. Like, you can have those conversations with me, right? But the he would say was like some weird. He would try to spit facts at me, and his quote unquote facts, were just things he saw off the internet. Like, basically this dude took everything he saw off the internet and he thought it was true, and so he would tell me these things. I would just be listening to him say all this. Let me drink some water because I feel like I'm talking with a lisp. So when I would listen to him, I would just be like, in the back of my head, I'd be like, that's not true, but okay. Like, but I wouldn't say nothing. Like, I would literally just sit there and listen to him. I started to notice that he was just really weird. He thought he was letting me know something. Like, he thought he was really spitting facts, but he would just believe everything off the internet. Eventually, like, I was turned off. I didn't want to kick it with him no more. Like, one day we were in the car, chilling, smoking. We had just got done smoking. Mind you, we used to smoke in my car. So we both get out. He asked me, can I get a hug? Like he always did. I gave him a hug. Like, this dude gonna grab my butt. boy, I was not having it. So I told him, like, you're hella disrespectful. How are you gonna grab my butt? Like, that's it. You like, it's done for. Because I told you so many times that we were just gonna be on some cool stuff, and you want to proceed to disrespect me and touch on me. Like, that's not gonna happen. So I was mad. Like, I was hot. So he did that. I walked in the house. I blocked him on Snapchat and I blocked his number. Why this dude start blowing up my phone from hella different numbers? And if I'm not mistaken, there were text now numbers. One thing I forgot to mention, I had blocked him before because, like I said, he was hella weird, so I wasn't feeling him. So I had blocked him before, and he contacted me off of a different number. So this is how I know he was using text now. He started blowing my phone up from hella different numbers. When I tell you it's hella different numbers, it's hella different numbers. Calling me, texting me, like, why did you block me? You're a manipulative B. Blah blah blah, like calling me out my name, like B, watch when I see you, B, when I see you, I'ma slap you. Boy, one thing is to call me out my name, one thing is to say I was doing some that I wasn't, but another thing is to threaten me and say you're gonna slap me. Like, that's a whole different thing. So I was on my toes. I was like, okay, this dude thinks I did something to him, and obviously he's crazy because he's calling me out my name because I blocked him on Snapchat after he touched my butt. I was like, obviously something's wrong with this dude. So I'm on my toes. Like, he lives right there, so I'm gonna see him eventually. Like, and he's talking about watch when you come outside. He knows where I live. Obviously, he knows my car. Obviously, he at this point he knows where I work at. Okay, so mind you, I get off of work at 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning. So him knowing that, I'm thinking like he's about to take advantage of this. Like, when I come home, nobody's gonna be outside. It's hella late, so nobody's gonna be outside. He's probably gonna be waiting for me somewhere, like, I don't know, behind the customs. I don't know what he's capable of. So I'm just, I'm on my toes. I'm guarded up, basically. So after he said that, the next day, I went to work, I got off, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna park in front of my house, because if I park in front of my house, he's gonna know I'm home, like, and he could probably see me from his window. I parked on a different street, somewhere where he wouldn't see my car from his house, basically. I always carried around mace and a knife, like that. I always carry that around because you never know. But of course, I'm still worried, I guess you can say. I'm still worried because this dude basically, he threatened to slap me. So I'm expecting something to happen because he lives so close to me and he knows all this information about me. I'm expecting something to go down. It was a few days after it happened. Okay, he texted me talking reckless. Mind you, I never answered this lame's phone calls until I got tired of blocking so many numbers. I finally answered the phone. And he called me telling me to come outside. He's on the phone talking reckless. I'm telling you, like, you led me on, you're hella manipulative, blah blah blah, like, you're just gonna cut me off and stop talking to me, like, I'm about to slap the hell out of you, like, be this, be that, like, just calling me all type of stuff. And so we were on the phone, like, arguing. He told me to come outside, so I grabbed my knife and I go outside. I'm about to be on my toes, like, worried about you because you said you were gonna slap me, but you haven't done anything. So I went outside with my knife. Like, obviously I wasn't out there like with it in my hand like this, but I went outside, had it in my pocket or whatever. I don't want to fight. That wasn't my intentions going out, but I was just mad. So I see him, so I'm like, so what's up? Why this dude his whole energy changed. Like his whole energy, his whole demeanor is different as hell. Basically, I guess what his little plan was to get me outside and try to talk to me again. This boy, I went outside. I'm like, so what's up? He's like, what's up? Why did you block me? Like, you didn't have to block me on Snapchat. Like, why did you do that? I was just trying to make you mine, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, like, I told you from the jump, I didn't want anything to do with you like that. Like, we were just going to chill and that's it. Like, I made that very clear several of times at that. And like I said, I should have just stopped kicking it with him after the first time I told him that, and he tried to push his issue. He's apologizing to me too. I'm sorry, like, please unblock me, blah, blah. Really? Really? No, I'm not going to unblock you. No. He tried to walk towards me and ask me for a hug. And I was back. I put my hand in my pocket and I was backing up. I was like, don't touch me. Do not touch me. Don't touch me. And then he started getting rowdy. He's talking stuff. I'm talking stuff. And I walk away. Like, I'm not about to argue with you and make a scene out here in front of all our neighbors who I've been living around my whole life. Like, no, that's what's not going to happen. So I proceed to walk away, and he says, he starts something. Boy. I don't care about none of that. You said you were gonna slap me and you didn't slap me. And if you would have slapped me, I walk in the house and my niece is sitting in the kitchen. So, and I guess she heard what was going on, and she asked me, like, Tia Vanessa, like, what's going on? And I told her, like, he said he was gonna slap me. Mind you, my niece is 16 years old right now. So at the time she was 15. This little girl tries to go outside and start getting hypey, like, no, calm down. I'm like, no, calm down. Like, come on. Like, get inside. Like, this little girl was more hypey than me. I'm like, no, stop. I pull her inside. And that was that. So basically, dude was talking all this mess, saying he was gonna put his hands on me and never did. I think he was just doing that so he could get a reaction out of me and I could talk to him. But wait, there's more. Fast forward, I'm outside taking my dog out like I always do, and I see him walking past. You know what he says to me? What's up, Vanessa? Are you gonna unblock me on Snapchat? No, I'm not. He starts trying to talk to me like, well, I just said, no, I'm not going to unblock you on Snapchat. We cannot be friends. No, we can't. We cannot. That's it. You're done for. I never saw him after that, thank God, because he was lame as hell. I learned my lesson off of that situation to not, I guess, lead someone on, even though I felt like I wasn't leading him on because I told him from the jump. But I did make the mistake of, like, still kicking it with him after I knew his intentions. But it is what it is. I know better now. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe. I have so many other story times for you guys. This was the first one. So if you enjoyed this one, imagine how all the other ones will be. And obviously I was all over the place in this one, but next time I will do better, I promise. Leave a comment if you want to. Let me know what you liked about it. Let me know what you didn't like about it. If you want to let me know something I could do different, go ahead and let me know that. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.